Well, the long-running rumor has been confirmed, and we now know who is going to write both Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars. But should we be happy about this news? Let's take a couple minutes to dive into who's writing it, why it's good to have the same writer on the same project, but why we should still be cautiously optimistic. Now, before we dive into that though, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button and ring that bell for all the updates. We do daily Marvel and DC videos, and we're going to try to be your place for all the superhero news, but we want to bring it to you truthfully and transparently so you're really in the know. Well, over the last couple of weeks, we've been really hearing how Marvel Studios appears to be tying Avengers Kang Dynasty much closer to Avengers Secret Wars. Destin Daniel Cretton stepped down as director of Kang Dynasty, and we had reports that Jeff Loveness, who was writing Kang Dynasty, had also departed the project, even suggesting in the process that Kang was being written out of the whole story. Now, earlier today, we got a report from Deadline, and although trades are not always right, look at that recent Variety report, these are as good as it gets, short of an official announcement from Marvel Studios. Now, we've heard rumblings for quite a while that Loki Season 1 and Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness scribe Michael Waldron would indeed write Avengers Kang Dynasty. Now, he's already attached to write Secret Wars, meaning both movies now have a single writer attached to bring their story to life. Like I said, previously, Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania's writer, Jeff Loveness, was set to write Kang Dynasty, but we heard a couple of months ago that he had been dropped from the movie, which was probably tied directly to how poorly that third movie performed, both critically and commercially. Now, I have a couple of thoughts here, some good, some bad. Now, first and foremost, it doesn't matter who the writer is. The same writer taking on both of these titles is a good thing for both movies. These two stories clearly are a 1-2 punch. And having the same writing team in place to take care of both projects will provide the cohesiveness that quite honestly has been lacking at Marvel Studios during Phase 4. Infinity War and Endgame had a clear vision, a plan, and a cohesive story that fans really loved. It was able to deliver a cliffhanger with a payoff and not undercut all the pain we felt in the first movie. This was because the same writing and directing teams worked on both projects, and I think Marvel is at least taking a lesson from that, but they are going with Michael Waldron, and that's where my next set of thoughts kind of come in. Like we were saying, Waldron worked on Season 1 of Loki, and Season 1 of Loki was pretty great, but I am not a fan of how Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness was kind of put together. Now, we heard stories of near daily rewrites, and this could have been some studio direction that was beyond Waldron's control. But I really felt that movie lacked quite a bit of flow, and that was in part due to the writing. Putting together Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars is going to be a huge hurdle, and it's super important that Waldron is able to deliver on that, because this is literally why you want to have the same writer on both projects. If you can't deliver that, there's no reason to use him, or even have the same writers on both movies. Now, it was last October when we first heard that Waldron was chosen to write Secret Wars, so even with that WGA strike, it's pretty fair to say he's had a good bit of time to work on whatever he's going to deliver. Now, of course, we have all the recent reports that behind the scenes everything is being overhauled creatively, so Marvel could very well be just tossing everything out and starting over, and just allowing Waldron to work on the whole thing right out of the gate. What Waldron will do with the story, it's hard to tell. We don't know any details yet. There's been the rumors of Kang hitting the road and Marvel may be swapping out the casting or for another villain. Since the movie is still called Kang Dynasty, I really don't think that's what's going to happen. But if the title of the first movie changes, well, pay attention because that seems to me it could be a big sign. We're going to keep our eyes peeled for an official announcement from Marvel Studios on this new writer's news. Kang Dynasty is set to hit theaters in 2026, with Secret Wars following up in 2027, so these are long ways out, so we may not get any official news for quite a while.